got another one. This is the most powerful car I've ever owned. S5. Look at this. S5. Now, just like the Range Rover, this car has been involved in a little accident. A bit more nastier than the Range Rover. So, I mean, let's get right into the video, man. Let me show you around. So, we got a 6-speed manual gearbox. Got these lovely red leather bucket seats. A bit sportier than the usual. I think they're heated. No, they're not heated seats. None of the airbags have gone off, which is lovely. So I don't need to attack the inside. Although the steering wheel does look a bit dated. Maybe a little upgrade on that. This one comes with a sunroof. Is it normal for an S5 to come with a sunroof? I don't think I've seen that yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. This has a Bang & Olufsen. So yes, it's got a Bang & Olufsen sound system. Olufsen. Bang it. Apparently it's got a decent sound system. If you look under here, a little subwoofer, so that adds onto the sound. And it's got electric seats. There we go. Very nice. Oh, the indicator works though. The car's safe, it can be driven. Yeah, great. It's got indicators, that's perfect. So this car is a 4.2 V8 turbo.
Wrong. It's actually naturally aspirated.
It produces around 350 brake horsepower, and the car weighs in at just over 1.6 tons. So let me just show you the problems. That. Other issue is the door. It seems to be catching on the wing. Another issue, I can't actually get into the engine bay because I think the cable's snapped. But what's great about this car, and many other cars, if I needed to get to the battery terminal, it's round the back, just like my Mini Cooper over there. Now, this has baffled me, and I don't know if this is normal on an S5. I'm pretty sure it isn't, but you got a red caliper here on the left side, red caliper here on the rear left side, and then if you come around the driver's side, it's black, and the other side is black. So I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if they were changed. I have no idea. But first of all, I want to get under this bonnet, and to do that, I'm gonna have to cut out a small square so I can get this open, and then I can investigate further. Here's the best thing about it. Up. Let's see if this will work. By the way, this is the Range Rover's battery. I recharged it and it's holding charge, so I mean, I've got two batteries connected together. What could go wrong? I can't run it to temperature because the front has been so badly damaged there's no coolant. That means the radiator is gone. The first thing I should do is get this bonnet open so I can see if there's no plastic inside any of the air ducts. To be honest, I shouldn't have started it. Safety first. So my son has came to visit me in his Lamborghini. Got rear lights. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna show him. You're gonna tell him. You're gonna tell him. He's got rear lights, just like any other car. He's got a stereo. One day, I'll have 3 matching Lamborghinis on the front drive. One day, one of these days.
Because the bonnet's all mash up, there's no point saving it, so I'm just gonna cut a small hole around the latch to pop it open. But I'm not gonna take it off the car because there's a dirty little thief stealing little stuff around the car park. What an absolute... Well, I do live in London, so I kinda expect that. Anyway, got a bit carried away there. Back to what I was doing. Yes, I'm cutting a small hole to pop open the lid. There are 2 skins to this bonnet. I've gone through the body panel part, and now I'm gonna go through the structured part, all of which can be replaced with a new bonnet.
So if you take a closer look, I've got the bonnet open. Got a nice inline 8-cylinder V8 engine, which actually looks very nice. I've got to open this up and check, but this is the intake air filter. Got to see if there's any plastic in it. I'm pretty sure the filter would have caught everything, especially it being on this side as well. It's a bit more risky. This I'm going to sort out. This looks amazing.
Now that I'm under the bonnet, I can strip away all the parts that are in my way and remove all the debris. Then I'll have a clear view of what actually needs fixing. I'm taking off the air intake box because I want to have a view of the chassis legs. This car is jotted down for structural damage, unfortunately, but I don't believe it. Because of the age of the car, I feel like they just looked at it and went, it's too expensive to fix, structural damage. And I believe that more because the bonnet was jammed shut. No sort of real inspection happened there.
Now, this car got marked down as a category S, which is structural damage. Now, I knew this when buying the car, that it's a risk when it says structural damage, but on further inspection, both these mounts, you know, this is the chassis legs, they will usually crumple up or be bent, and just looking at them visually, I don't see any sort of creases, any bends. It doesn't look like it's been moved. In fact, even the crash bar at the front doesn't look bent up. Look what I just found, guys. Oh, I think I should disconnect the battery. Now, if you don't know what this is, let me explain to you. This is a crash sensor. This basically gets hit and then sends the airbags off in the car. And I think, yeah, there's one on this side, one on the other side, 2 at the back. That's so strange how it's here. This is where the impact happened. The sensor's here, but it didn't send any of the airbags off. I think I'm going to disconnect the battery before carrying on any work here.
I don't know how sensitive the crash sensors are, but I'm not going to take any risks. I don't want to pay 500 to £1,000 on airbags that didn't really need to go off because of a mistake or an error. So I'm just going to be safe and disconnect the batteries.
Battery would need a charge anyway, so I decided to take it out. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get that charged up and see if I can reuse it. If I can't, then I'll go and get a new battery. Now that the battery is disconnected, let's start investigating further. So if I show you The front bumper is connected to this bracket here, which is just where this line is here. That is disconnected, but it's also connected here. So you see this bracket, usually you'll have to take the wheel off, get under the arch lining, put a long bolt, a long extended bar to unscrew this, but since I can access it from here, I can just unscrew this. There should be screws underneath it, and I'll do the other side as well. Take out the passenger headlight, and that should be the front bumper off.
Now, I have worked on an Audi before in my life, so I kind of knew where the bolts and screws were. Same thing applies to most cars. You got a few brackets, a few bolts. You got 2 brackets on both ends, and then you got a few bolts right in the bottom middle.
I decided to cut it off. A little easier, and it's almost there. Oh, hold on, let me show you. I've got most of the front off. You can see I think the place where the slam panel sits. I don't think it's meant to bow down like that, although the air intake tray does sit in a good place, to be fair. I've made massive progress so far. Let's continue stripping.
Slowly but surely I am getting closer and closer to the engine block, but I'm also noticing more and more damage as I pull away all the parts. I haven't been noticing any major structural parts being badly bent up, which I'm grateful for. Everything's been going so smoothly so far, apart from a few leaks here and there. I managed to get the crash bar off without any issue. Now it's time to get all the radiators off. Right at the front you have the miniature power steering pump cooler. Next comes the air conditioning condenser. And then lastly, right at the back, you've got the radiator, which houses all the coolant. That's what I'm after.
It doesn't look bad at all, but it is bent up quite a bit. You can see that's just not straight. Also, the housing on the side is all cracked as well. So obviously this can't hold any coolant whatsoever. This is what she looks like, guys, at the moment. My new old Audi S5 running out of daylight like usual. The only escape was this pipe here, so I'm gonna have to replace that whole radiator. That is not meant to be pushed in there like that. If you can see it, you can see it's all bent up. It's not meant to be like that. So because of that, it's literally cut the cables just behind it. The wires, that looks like it's been snapped from the intake manifold precious. I think that's a sensor. I got one on that side as well. That's been sheared off because of this slam panel. Not too sure what that is, but it might be a water pump. This was going to the air intake box. I think that was there was like a little hose that went inside of it. It's just this wire that's upsetting. I can see the other end of it, which is just here. All I have to do is I'll just splice them, put them together. Let's take this slam panel off and we can get to see that monstrosity of an engine.
And finally, I am at the very last part which needed stripping off. I've already undone the bolts, so all I have to do is just pull it away from the car and reveal the V8 beast that sits behind it.
I think I'm gonna leave it there. It's not bad. It's not bad. You'll look at it now and go, yeah, whatever. But it's not bad. I'm learning as I go along, so I can't wait until I get this car on the road. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the video there, and I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully it'll be a bit brighter because the weather's turning. See you on the next video. Take care, peace.